It's Breaking Prophecy News, your top Bible targets today. It's January 9th, 2017. These are the signs of the times, forewarning of the very last seconds of the last days and Jesus' imminent return. Today, Monday, there's a war on cops that is continuing even today as it's Law Enforcement Appreciation Day here in the USA. Today, an officer gunned down in Florida. Officers are focusing on an apartment in the hunt for a cop killer. Master Sergeant Deborah Clayton was shot and killed at an Orlando Walmart this morning. Officer approached the suspect, identified as Markeith Lloyd, and he opened fire, hitting her multiple times. A deputy assisting in the search was also killed when his motorcycle was struck in an intersection by a van driven by a 78-year-old. We continue to pray for our law enforcement ohana. In Israel yesterday, a driver plowed a truck into a group of soldiers. It's the latest in these truck attacks. It happened in Jerusalem, killing 4 soldiers and injuring at least 10. By the way, of the 4 soldiers killed, 3 were women and all were 20 years of age, around the 20-year mark. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said authorities have identified the terrorist and, quote, all signs show he is a supporter of Islamic State, end quote. ISIS has now attacked the heart of Israel's eternal capital. Please have eyes to see the significance of how deep this JV team has now gotten into God's territory. More on war percolating with China. Taiwan's President Tsai Ing-wen met Sunday in Houston, Texas with Senator Ted Cruz and Texas Governor Greg Abbott, potentially adding to tensions with China after U.S. President-elect Donald Trump broke diplomatic protocol by speaking on the phone with her. I guess it's against the rules for the last few decades for any U.S. president to speak to the Taiwanese president, and we broke that rule with this new administration. More on war files. The AP today reporting a U.S. Navy destroyer fired 3 warning shots at 4 Iranian fast attack vessels after they closed in at high speeds near the Strait of Hormuz. They're getting cockier and cockier. Meanwhile, Iran's lawmakers approved plans to expand military spending to 5% of their budget, including developing the country's long-range missile program. U.S. President-elect Donald Trump has promised to stop it, and the U.S. military on Sunday vowed to increase the scope and complexity of its European training exercises to deter Russian aggression as more U.S. tanks, trucks, and equipment arrives in Germany for a big buildup on NATO's eastern flank, another hotspot there in Europe. Finally, some good news. Fiat Chrysler is investing $1 billion into 2 Midwest auto plants. It plans to retool and modernize factories in Michigan and Ohio as it adds new Jeep SUVs and a pickup to its lineup. President-elect Trump cheered Fiat Chrysler. He also cited last week's news that Ford will expand in Michigan instead of in Mexico with a $1 billion plant. And we just keep winning and winning, and here's some more winning. More jobs under the Trump administration as he met today with Chinese billionaire businessman Jack Ma, who promised 1 million new American jobs, especially in small businesses. And in more financial good news, I guess we're winning, 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 and winning. Jesus jackpot. Cha-ching, 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 cha-ching. According to Breaking Christian News, Toyota announces $10 billion U.S. investment today after Trump's Twitter warning last week, and that'll happen, $10 billion invested into the United States over the next 5 years. God's word says in Proverbs 29 verse 2, when the godly are in authority, the people rejoice, but when the wicked are in power, they groan. On that note, President Obama tomorrow will give his farewell speech. Keep your eyes on the prize, Jesus returning in the sky.